Have you back. Thanks for staying tuned. Well, earlier this year, the Niger Delta's political landscape began shifting in ways few expected. Governors, lawmakers, and party stalwarts steadily defecting from the PDP to the APC and other parties, while at it collapsing decades of regional political traditions. Now, the move has reshaped the power grid from say Bayelsa, Delta, Akwa Ibom, even in rivers where critical analysts believe it's as good as conquered. Now, all of these force a rethink of where loyalties truly lie and whether politics in the region still reflects the will of the people or just the pull of power from the center. Today, we'll try to look at these shifting loyalties, their roots, their implications, and their potential to redefining political engagement in the Niger Delta. We're joined by a political analyst and commentator, Niger Delta governance, himself also a human rights and civil society activist. Barrister Clifford Thomas joins us live on the program. Thank you very much for coming on the program, sir.
Well, the pleasure is mine.
It's been a while.
Xavier, it's nice being on set with you today after several months.
A long hat.
Several months, yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, let's start with an overview. You've been watching these events in the Niger Delta unfold. Every now and then we see governors move, political shifts in ideologies and all of that. This wave of defections, have you reflected on what possibly could be driving it?
Well, let's start from understanding what the defection is all about. The defection is defective, very, very defective. Let me have the poetic license to say the defection is defective because it's polarizing the country and making the country to look like it is premised on an ethnic definition or a regional definition. Politics in Nigeria has really been about regions and the interests of not even states, or not even the region, but interests of some individuals who appear to run a surrogacy, the surrogacy to forcefully acquire power for themselves. It is a very bad moment for Nigeria that governors, particularly from a particular region, the South generally, and lately the Southeast has joined, moving from the PDP to the APC. It's a bad signal also because when you look at all southern states combined together, aside from Lagos, which could go anywhere, all southern states, the voting strength does not match the voting strength of the entire North. And when you begin to threaten your senior brother, I rephrase, when you begin to threaten the other person who appears to have better political potentials than you, I'm not being defeatist in any way. I am trying to be a realist. You make the other person begin to also think of strategizing and re-strategizing to ensure he punctures what you are planning to bring on board. But I think they could have still remained in their parties and do what they wanted to do. They have shown the threats very early, and the other parties have gotten early warning signals. And the early warning signals they have gotten will make them begin to think of very preemptive strike. And the preemptive strike may not actually go well for those who are defected. More so, even within the APC, you also notice that what prompted the initial defection, which was, oh, let's align with the center and get things for our people. They are not getting anything for their people. Aside from what the president is doing to acquire more money for the states' governments to use. And that much money really reflects on the lives of the people.
Why is that so? I mean, the promise was that when subsidy is removed and these monies are paid and states of the federation get more money, of course, it's going to translate to better living for the people.
I will put it back to you. Have you had a better living since the subsidy was removed? I don't expect you to answer because you are the interviewee, I'm the interviewee. You are the interviewer, I'm the interviewee. So I don't want to change the rules on set when you were not put on notice. that could be an ex parte move. But there's not been improvement in welfare. There's not been improvement in security. Chapter 2 of the Constitution says that the primary duty of government to show that government is actually working is when the government is able to secure the welfare of the people and the security of the people. The security situation is porous, even though the government tells us they are doing a lot. Does those audio things. We're doing this to improve your welfare. We're doing this to improve your security. These days, if you don't provide security and you look up more to God, you rarely get the security. The welfare, there's been more unemployment. The inflationary rate has gone up higher. We are having less power supply than we used to have. So if we have more power supply, there will be more production. The conditions for establishing industries and factories appear not to be strong enough. The economy is so open that they claim we run a free economy. We run an open economy, but it's not protectionist. I mean, it's not protected. Those who produce rice here, for instance, are not protected from the cheap rice that comes from outside the country, which is not good enough for human consumption. Those who try to produce things, they don't have the energy to produce things. In fact, do you know that we can recycle our waste and export them as finished products, but you don't have the energy to do them? So on the whole, after removal of subsidy and going forward, you notice that now more monies have entered the states, but does that translate to more work, more projects? If you look at the Niger Delta states, the people are complaining. Even though the governors are, and they are they are insisted within a, how would I put it? They live in a world of their own. So it is what their advisors tell them they believe exists, whereas the people outside think differently because of their experience.
Man, when you look at this recent waves, despite some of these points that you have raised, that hasn't deterred most of these states from defecting.
Yes, it won't deter them from defecting because they are not defecting because of you. They don't know you. No governor is defecting because of his people. Every governor who has defected...
That's what they make it.
Yes, every governor who has defected...
They tell you that it's for the will of the people.
No, every governor who has... Let them stop lying because there's a God who will hold them accountable even when they think the people can't hold them accountable. Every governor who has defected, every senator who has defected, every political office holder who has defected for primordial interest, not for the interest of the people.
But man, when you look at what's happening currently, don't you see that, don't you share the notion that, this is an opportunity for this region to also taste power for 8 years, and so they are trying to, as much as possible, to support...
Which region are you talking about?
The South-South.
The South-South. Nobody wants to give South-South a chance. The whole thing is geared towards supporting Tinubu to get a second term and get towards supporting the governors that came on board in states here to get a second term. They don't know you in this business.
Some critical...
In the calculus of the power conundrum, nobody is thinking of the common man.
And some critical analysts will ask, what's wrong with that, trying to support the president to have a second term?
Well, if the president has done well, let his work speak for him. Let his work actually be the one to actually give him a second term. But if the president hasn't done well, and I think the president actually is trying, as a personal opinion, the president is trying. But there are persons who, for whatever reason, want to raise power of the president. And the president should allow his work speak more for him. Ensure we have stable electricity. Ensure we have refineries that are working. Ensure we have conditions, create very clement, conducive conditions that will promote good livelihood of the people and good welfare of the people.
Well, historically, we know that the Niger Delta has been politically diverse and somewhat defiant when it comes to shifting allegiance. So what is really special about this particular year and the years to come, if I may? Why is it unique that this is happening at this time in the Niger Delta, especially in Akwa Ibom, for instance, Akwa Ibom State, that has never left the PDP, and we're talking about APC now.
Well, PDP, as far as I know, is the only political party with a pedigree of real politicking and work. But they challenged God when they said they'll be in power for how many years, 60 something years. And you see, you don't challenge God anyhow. Because you challenge God, He will use the most elementary and primary thing to upset you. And that was exactly what happened. So if APC is also thinking the same way, APC may likely go away off power if they challenge God the way they are going. Now, the Niger Delta generally has been a very, very heterogeneous society. It hasn't been homogeneous. No. Now, you have the Niger Delta is made up of various nations coexisting together, trying to define the moment and redefine themselves to see how they can get the best out of the relationship. Now, when you begin to pigeonhole them into this bandwagon effect that we must all go one side, it's only the North that has the capacity for that because of their culture and history. But the culture and history of the Niger Delta is very Republican in nature. We are not it's not oligarchic. It's very Republican. So you're a king in your house. I'm a king in my house. I'm not feeding from you. So I should have the independence to say what I have to say.
The thought process is liberalized.
Very, very liberal. So when they begin to head everybody into one head and make it look like, no, if it's not APC, you can't be in government, you can't get anything, the people will spring a surprise.
Well, we'll talk about how these shifts affect intergovernmental cooperation and talk about access to federal projects. I mean, most of the governors that have left the PDP to the APC have always hinged these moves to better welfare for the people, better
connecting to the center.
Connecting to the center.
Let me quickly
a very important phrase.
Let me quickly say this, even if I appear a bit rude in my interjection. All those who have moved from the PDP to the APC, citing the fact that they want to link their states to the center, they are not only selfish, but they are showing the facts. They are telling the people inadvertently that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is an eccentric fellow, that he is not ready to play politics and governance the way it should be, that he will not bring your state into the center, despite the fact that he swore to protect and uphold the Constitution. They are also telling us that the National Assembly should even institute an impeachment process for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because he's not carrying every part of the country along. But I think differently. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got monies from the subsidy and has not withheld 10 kobo from any state. So for them to start indicting the president that their state is poor, their state is not, they can't meet the welfare, improve the welfare of their people until they join the APC to go to the center. Every state is at the center. Every state. Even if a party comes out that bears HIV, you must also be at the center.
Well, does it interest you what's happening in Rivers? I mean, currently as it is in Niger Delta region, Rivers State is the only state that hasn't officially said, okay, it is moving from the PDP to the APC. Do you see, do you think differently? Or are you also of the school of thought that Rivers is also as good as APC?
Rivers State is holding the conscience of Wike. And with the return of Fubara back to government house, he's only a tenant in government house and they could sweep the carpet off his feet anytime. So he's waiting for instruction, and the instruction will come from Wike. Wike has not declared for APC. Wike still claims to be PDP. And by the law, he has the right to, he has the freedom of conscience. He has the right of association. If Wike does not, if Wike declares for APC today, Fubara must declare either today or tomorrow.
What is the interesting caveat to this? I mean, Rivers is there. We have Barrister Nyesom Wike, who is the FCT minister, who is still a PDP man, working for the APC government. What is the politics that is playing out there? Don't you see that, does that not give credence to the administration of President Bola Tinubu regarding his ability to integrate and accept other political parties?
The politics in Rivers is voodooism. It's voodoo politics. It's a brand of politics premised on witchcrafty, where somebody sits down somewhere to monitor another person and manipulates that person. And it must interest you to know that any form of manipulation is witchcrafty. So when you sit in Abuja to manipulate the man in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, that is witchcrafty, that is voodoo. So it's a brand of politics that had been played quietly and secretly over time in Nigeria. But today, it is played openly because it has existed all along, where you have the godfatherism politics. That godfatherism politics is voodoo politics. It's a politics of witchcrafty. So somebody sits down somewhere, monitors of that person, controls him, and collects the best part that should go to him and the people.
Well, you have made some, I don't know, Barrister.
I stand by what I said. Whoever is not satisfied should go to court.
What if this opinion that you were having about voodooism, I don't know if you have any proofs to back what you just said?
I have a poetic license to coin words and use to aptly describe a situation which I believe is what it is.
Of course, you're able to back your submissions.
You don't even need facts. You just need newspaper reports.
Anyway.
And the events that happened for 6 months plus in Rivers State.
Well, as we begin to wind down the conversation, I'd like you to have this parting shot. Now, the people happen to be at the center of all of this. And
which people?
The people of the Niger Delta region.
Oh, the real people.
The real
Not
people of the Niger
people.
Delta region. Well,
okay.
you are going to differentiate between the audio and the real people.
Yes. When they say we the people have enacted for ourselves, it's audio. It's not we the people, the real people.
Okay.
The real people are me and you and others on the streets.
Are there better ways to carry the real people along? When we look at the political scenario in the Niger Delta region, are the people truly having their voice heard?
The structures that have been put in place is to permanently emasculate the people and make the people lay prostrate on the altar of what should come to them. So the people really don't have voices again, except that from time to time, there are snippets of information that comes out to actually reflect what the real people need. So we have the real people and the audio people. That was why I asked you, which people? Is it the real or the audio? But we are the real people of the Niger Delta.
Thank you very much, Barrister Clifford Thomas, human rights and civil society activist, for speaking to us on Niger Delta today.
The pleasure is mine.
We will continue to observe the political landscape and hope that there are better days ahead for the people, the real people of the Niger Delta.
We hope so, because we realize that some of the programs designed are not really meant for the people. Some of the programs designed are meant for personal interest, to actually elongate and perpetuate some persons in office. Of course, I mean, it's going to shock them.
Have yourself a terrific day.
Thank you very much.